And this morning, a man is in jail charged with killing his girlfriend in Afton. Here is his photograph. Our Annie Cross spoke with the victim's family here in this photo there about the terrifying incident and the legacy they know their daughter will leave behind.
In the waning hours of a spring evening in St. Louis County, Missouri, the peace of a quiet neighborhood was shattered. On April 24, 2025, residents on Grace Avenue would soon learn that domestic violence can escalate in the blink of an eye. That night, Kelsey Elam, a 25-year-old woman full of promise, confronted the unspeakable. And behind the door, her partner, Martino Lewis, 21, ready to break. Kelsey was born November 5, 1999, in Atlanta, Georgia. Her family later moved to St. Louis, where she grew into a woman marked by determination. She graduated from East St. Louis High School, continued her education at Duke University, and balanced multiple jobs as a retail employee at Hollister, a manager at McDonald's, and later training to become a medical assistant. By age 18, she had a job, a car, and her own apartment. On her social media, she was an advocate for the transgender community and celebrated her journey of self-acceptance. Just a day before her death, she posted a heartfelt message celebrating her transition, a testament to her resilience and pride. That message would become an unintentional last testament. Martino Lewis, a 21-year-old man from St. Louis, seems, on the surface, to be a typical young adult. But beneath the ordinary lay a relationship simmering with tension. Police reveal that Kelsey and Martino were romantically involved and that arguments between them had occurred before. On that fateful Thursday, tension exploded, fast, loud, and beyond repair. It was around 11:15 p.m. when a heated argument erupted inside their shared home on the 5800 block of Grace Avenue. A witness, a neighbor, perhaps someone who had seen them before, overheard Kelsey pleading for Martino to stop. Police records note that Martino struck her in the face, drawing blood. Kelsey, terrified and bleeding, told the witness, "I'm scared. He's going for his gun," and asked them to call 911. As the witness began to dial, the tension turned lethal. The call was punctuated by a single gunshot. The nightmare unfolded in seconds. Martino erupted from the home, sprinting out as Kelsey collapsed. He took her car and fled the scene. Patrol officers arrived swiftly. Inside the residence, they found Kelsey gravely wounded, an apparent gunshot wound that would soon end in her death. She was rushed to a nearby hospital but succumbed to her injuries. That gunshot, so suddenly fired, had silenced a life worth fighting for. Meanwhile, Martino was seen speeding away in Kelsey's car. Law enforcement located him within St. Louis city limits, still in possession of the vehicle. He told officers he had shot Kelsey and driven her to the hospital, but investigators quickly determined this was false. He had admitted to the physical altercation before fleeing. Detectives from the St. Louis County Bureau of Crimes Against Persons took over. They collected forensic evidence from the crime scene. The bullet, any fingerprints, anything that could precisely reconstruct the event. They obtained witness statements, including from the neighbor who heard the argument, the punch, and the fatal gunshot. Martino's claim of hospital transport crumbled under scrutiny. No records placed Kelsey in his car en route, and her medical records placed her straight from the home to the hospital. Police also recovered the firearm, which matched ballistics to the bullet lodged in Kelsey. Investigators further found signs of domestic abuse, bruising consistent with her statements and witness accounts. On April 25, 2025, Martino was charged with second-degree murder, armed criminal action, and third-degree domestic assault. A judge set bond at $400,000, cash only, number 10% release allowed. The severity of charges reflected prosecutors' concerns and the brutality of the act. In court, Martino's alleged lies about driving Kelsey, the witness account of her fear for her life, and the physical evidence painted a vivid picture. The state presented this as more than a fatal split second. It was a violent end to a relationship that had simmered with tension. Martino is presumed innocent, awaiting trial. But prosecutors argue he had hours to defuse or delay. Instead, he chose a gun. Kelsey's death sent shockwaves through her family, her community, and the LGBTQ+ advocacy world. Her mother, Calvinita Brock, was quoted saying, I'm in a dream, struggling to grasp the brutal reality.
It's still like a shocking to me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm still like I'm in a dream. All that blood and brains and whatever that's in her room, that was bow. That was nothing about drop on the floor.
No.
Nothing.
Family said she was an advocate for the transgender community and was a consistent friend to strangers.
She'll take her shoes off her feet and get to a person.
Do it plenty of times.
You know,
every time we ride past the homeless, she always give everybody $1. She makes sure you hungry. She just one of them type of persons that always looked out for everybody.
Friends and online supporters mourned her voice and her spirit. She had been a proud advocate, unafraid to share her journey. Her final Facebook post, celebrating her transition and newfound happiness, is now a resonant memorial. Locally, domestic violence advocates seized on the case, raising urgent questions. How could such an explosive argument escalate so quickly? How can we better protect those in love when love turns dangerous? Calls for training, for awareness, for urgent prevention grew louder. Lawmakers took notice too, cashing and bond policy changes, debates around domestic assault charges, and resources for crisis victims now echo through Missouri halls. From the domestic violence that led to a neighbor's fearful witness to the shot that ended Kelsey's life, this case lays bare how quickly a moment of rage can kill. The weak thread between two partners was torn when Martino allegedly picked up a gun. Now he sits behind bars on grave charges, awaiting justice. But justice cannot bring Kelsey back, and the world is left asking, when will we learn the language of love doesn't include violence? If you found this story gripping, terrifying, or simply heartbreaking, please consider subscribing to Sinister Tales for more real-life true crime narratives. Hit the bell to get notified of our next deep dive. And before you go, tell us in the comments, in your view, what warning signs in relationships are most often missed, and how can we prevent another tragedy like Kelsey's?
I know, I'm finna get out there though. It's real hot. Period. Is you okay? How everybody day going? That's good. I'm finna go outside, start my motherfucking day.